and instead there's a stand-in. Coach Armen is standing in for him, and we do not yet know what the roles will be for these players. So we're going to find out what's going to happen. We are in the draft already. Ancient Apparition first pick. We saw that actually working out very well yesterday for Brave.
Wow. And they ban the heroes that AA actually can usually do. That's a bit intriguing. Look at that.
That's the thing.
But it's the savers, you know, they're so popular. NIGMA, they do end up taking the other saver, and they do take one of my new favorite heroes, I think, after yesterday in particular, and after watching some SEA games too. Willow on the rise.
Oh yeah.
I can still respect the idea of the bans, which is like, AA is the counter to these heroes, but the pace that these heroes enable cause to play at is like, if you don't connect on your ultimate and you aren't able to match the tempo with a good enough lineup, it can be hard to truly get the A into the game. So if Smashers aren't happy to play into that style, I can see why they're still banning them out for sure.
Yeah, and we do see from NIGMA very appropriate bans too. Of course, the Invoker, as everybody does kind of do, versus Smashers.
Yeah, they would first phase pick it.
Yeah.
Gotta respect that.
Gotta respect that he changed his style too, because I guess I've said it a couple times on the cast too. He was an Exort only, and then he actually this season he transitioned to Quaswex, which I think is pretty huge. Even though the hero has of course gotten his changes and whatnot, done some nerfs for God knows what reasons.
Yeah, for sure. Like when I was coaching the team, yeah, he'd pretty much every game after, it'd be like, yeah, this was a good Exalt game, guys. And it's like, so when they're running us and we needed it, it's like, yeah, no, but like my Midas, it like, this helped me. It's like, he was very much bringing the Invoker as the pub style Invoker where he was just playing for his timings. But yeah, he has improved immensely on a hero that he has so many games on, just kind of identifying exactly what he needs for the team. And that's why there's so much respect in the ban for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know that feeling. I used to, everyone was playing Quaswex back in the day when I played it. I strictly played Exort. Yeah. And I lost most of my games. No, I did okay. I was pretty bad.
There's something with an Invoker player when they can queue up a Midas and it's like, don't worry guys, we'll get the Sunstrike kill. It's like, it doesn't always work like that, Chief.
Okay, so we got the AA with the Tiny. I actually really like the combo with this. I think it just makes Tiny so much more threatening. The burst potential, it actually is back to what it used to be, that 3x avalanche kind of thing, even more so when they are under it. They do reveal both supports on the side of NIGMA with the start too, which is usually a bit of a concern.
Yeah,
teams can take advantage of it a little bit.
I guess so, but I feel like in this scenario, the supports are so strong.
They are.
It's not like you're showing like, if this was like ABBA +1, like an ABBA AA, or even like the AA Tiny, that's when I'd be concerned a little bit. But they already have immense team fight and laning presence that you can deal with a counter pick because your carry will have a free time farming the Warlock hill. You can pick any offlaner to enable the Willow, so it's not the weakest of support opening.
No, definitely true. Okay, so Centaur taken out.
I kind of feel like this might indicate a Tiny core with these type of bans. That idea of you want to be able to jump and kill something, and it just ensures that this mid Tiny will have a good time. And even kind of Ember as well. Even though we saw in the low division Tiny did pretty well, but that was more just an outplay.
He first blooded him. That kind of changes the whole dynamic.
I wanted you to add that disclaimer real quick.
Yeah, that is very true. No, I do like these bands. We see the Wraith King and the Medusa band, very popular, what Ace has been looking the strongest on. So besides that, he has been suffering a little bit on some of the other heroes that he gets forced on. His Voids, the Arc Warden, even though it was a very particular hero for him. They actually were close to winning that game. It was very close when he did play it, but it was a couple little slip-ups. Did cost him that one.
Yeah, that's the story of the HELLBEAR Smashers. They had some very close games, but they didn't win him.
Yeah.
Best of twos would have been Smash's best friend.
Yeah, they would have actually, because they would have had 1-1 against most people.
They'd be middle pack with 3 draws.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, no, they still lost 0-2 to Liquid. So
okay, they'd be middle pack with 3 draws and a loss, alright?
Yeah.
Twist the knife, bottom of the middle. Bottom of the middle. Smash's fan. Oh, Jesus.
It's all good. So the Willow and the Warlock coming out for Team NIGMA, we saw them do that against Brame as well in the second game that they played last Saturday against each other. And of course that support duo gave Team NIGMA the turning point in that series, particularly where they set a very high pace, high tempo.
The key thing about that series though, they had a win condition on mid with a very safely and a little bit. Miracle's not playing and RMN. That's really depends on what they're doing. I'm very interested to see how they kind of bring RMN into the squad and unlock the draft. I guess it's a little bit easier that they have RTW in the draft compared to like a WEU in this scenario, unfortunately.
I think the duo supports also sets them up for so many things. Like you said, strong lanes, but your team fight's just set already. Like no matter what you pick as your cores, you're gonna have good team fight in the mid game always because of these two setups. I mean, I really like the opener. Actually is quite nice.
So what offlanes have actually left? Well, basically all of them actually. So
Most of them
banned out.
Only the Sense band, yeah. So we got still the Timbersaw, the Darkseer. We've seen Team NIGMA dabble in that one as well. The Mars.
I love it with the Willow.
Well.
Yeah, it's super good, very aggressive. You can take advantage of a little bit of the AA. Where you're sure your lane's getting a little better, it seems, for AA, but you're super squishy. And these two heroes, you get caught in a bramble. Actually, you're gonna get caught probably in two because the spear will bring you through it, and you're just dead. You have such a low HP pool. It's a very strong, aggressive lane.
That's the nice thing, because like AA nowadays, he's a very good laner, and then of course into the game he has this big ultimate threat. But when he steps out from the creeps to try and harass, he's just gonna get speared into a root, and it's free death. He has to play so far behind. And they go for a PA, a hero that can somewhat play around the roots and stuff, gives them some backline jump to the Willow to the Warlock if you can blow them up quick enough. But it's not like the pick that goes, wow, all right, cool, that's the turning point in the Smashers draft.
And do you like PA without without someone to buff him up? Steroid? Or something to help PA along?
No, and I don't really like PA versus Willow, I'll be honest with you.
Through the realm, you can't really
always focus him, and usually when I see PAs picked, it's because you see like AA Rubik, some like super squishy supports that you jump, you insta-kill. You jump a Willow, and let's say like it's pre-BKB timing, the Willow can actually turn and almost solo kill you if you're not careful. So, and Brambles are annoying. Roots are pretty obnoxious to play versus early on the PA.
Yeah, this could be a scenario where if NIGMA picks a weaker hero, then Smashers can just go for, let's say, a mag, and then they just go all for get the PA to a point where she's happy to fight. But then I'm still a bit worried about how they even get to play this game, because there's a lot of kind of disconnection between their draft.
And then you pick mag into massive counter initiation too, so it's it also might be too greedy, because I do feel like with the Mars and with the Willow, they will try to set tempo pretty quickly because they see the greed on the third pick immediately. Okay. Batrider as well.
A lot of versatility here with NIGMA's draft. Like, we don't know where players are playing. We don't know where heroes are going.
Yeah.
And then they have
very color-coded, though.
Very color-coded.
Now, Smash is also kind of going for more of like a rocky light blue style.
Yeah. It's the cool colors versus the warm colors.
Yeah. I used to love the combo of Warlock and Batrider. You get upheaval later on, sticky napalm slows the turn rate. You can't turn and move out of upheaval when those fights do come down, and they all do synergize very nicely together.
Oh, look, you can see Misery, or now Rasmus's face, like, like, you know,
I know how he makes the noise, but that's what the noise he makes too. Rasmus always makes the I love it.
Oh, what do you think? Back against the wall.
Yeah, this is looking a little tough already, I'll be honest. Showing the PA so early into this aggression, not so crazy about it. But they're gonna have to pick something that can actually do quite well to be able to battle early, because NIGMA's gonna bring the battle.
Okay, I like this. I feel like in this position now with these picks, you put the Tiny as your 4, and you at least pick a mid lane that can lane into either the Mars or the Bat or anyone. And Puck is traditionally one of the counters to Batrider, because you can always orb away from the Firefly, the aggression. I have seen sometimes the Bat just dominate the Puck if you have one, miscue, whatever, aggressively use orb, but it at least gives Smashers a hero to play around, and for Stormstorm, it's one of his main heroes. Yeah,
and great ways to kill backline. You get like, if you find the Warlock and the Willow together at all, something like that, AA Blast follow up with Vortex, lots of magic damage, so it can be a pretty good raise up of like that counter initiate, or just start the fights first so that they don't have combos with the Mars as backup for the Batrider.
I guess that's actually a pretty good point for Smashers. Like, when they get to post laning phase, their team fights are built around Tiny starts to fight. If you ever waste Arena or Golem, then the mobility of PA Puck isn't punished. There isn't that hard lockdown, so they do have a really nice combo to play around, but you just need to get through laning phase, have the BKB, and then you're going to have a pretty good time.
And we have now a coil breaker too, right? We have the toss with the coil too, so they're going to have potential for those extra damage to kill off these heroes, which I think they will. AA always does provide you also that extra damage, but whenever I see PM, I'm always a little worried for damage in early game.
Yeah, for sure.
So is this something that we're looking for Rasmus still as the last pick then on the side of HELLBEAR Smashers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100% this will be his last pick. Hopefully he doesn't pick Legion.
He likes things like Axe and Underlord.
I know Misery pretty well, and every time he picks Legion, he thinks it's a great pick. Fast forward 35 minutes, game's over. He's like, why did I pick Legion? I know that's exactly what they're saying right now. They're like, yes, this hero do wonders.
Do like the Spectre ban? You see the Warlock. It's just it's probably gonna come out. You have AA. The
AA
Tiny don't do anything, dude. So do like that one quite a bit there.
NIGMA, they ban out just
a buffers. They still they bless it. They're like, Rasmus, we know you want it, but you know what? We want a nice game.
They protected him from himself. Very, very generous. All right, so which hero is left?
They took out the 2 counters to the Bat Rider, right? So now there's not going to be a great dispel to be able to counteract the lasso.
You could maybe go for like an Unlord route where it's just kind of you just out of the fight, but it just feels very clunky. I think
There's a spear too, you know, right?
Yeah, that's
spear through the Uber. We've already seen that one a couple times.
maybe a Pangolier just cut through the fight and just have this rolling thunder effect.
Radiant's turn to pick.
They're just gonna go the
Casual
Tidehunter.
Okay. Does not fit the color scheme, guys.
No, it is a very. I just feel like it's a very, like you said, casual Tidehunter.
It doesn't really have much kind of laning winning potential right now, because of course you have the last pick for this carry. But at least it grounds out the aggression where NIGMA, when they want to make a fight, they have to use big spells to win the fight, right?
Yep.
So now you have your own big spell, so you can go tit for tat, and actually have entry, and it unlocks PA and Puck to enter the fight only once Tiny has initiated, Tide has reinitiated, bam, the double cores come in.
And they take the troll.
Yeah.
Looks really good. Strong lane.
Same color.
And the real question is,
Slow him down. Same color it is. They actually did. I mean, the color scheme is very beautiful.
Yeah.
okay, so this is the important thing. It is going to be an RMN on the mid or off lane Bat Rider, because of course Mars could still be mid, Bat could still be off lane type of thing. That's the switch here.
IOTW will play carry.
And the other thing is too, right? Like you actually don't know who you're playing against as Stormstormer, because that is actually 2 heroes that used to be lane versus the Puck a lot.
Exactly.
Although the matchup for Bat Rider has gotten a lot worse, it's probably more likely the Mars, but okay.
Alright, yeah, I think this is one of the rare times that smoking up as 5 on smashes to get a deep ward just to know who's going where.
Yeah.
Because not only is there hero versatility, there's player versatility.
Yeah.
Okay, and I do like that Rasmus can at least break the combos, right? Those big wombo combo team fights that are going to come out from NIGMA. He'll at least be able to counteract those pretty decently.
Yeah, I think NIGMA for sure, they can fall victim to their own need for aggression, playing right behind his Bat Rider, easily punished by a Puck, and then scaling over PA. So yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty close game. You know, got Team Red versus Team Not Red, and yeah, I'm confident for Smashes. It just helps that Miracle's not playing, right? If you're a Smashes fan, like when you lose such a big factor to your team, it's suddenly the odds just kind of get a lot closer.
But we do still say that the lanes for Team NIGMA Fog look pretty decent.
Yes, they look quite strong. I do like the Troll overall into PA. Like it does take time for PA to be able to fight back versus Troll, and Troll, he will be able to naturally build into a way to deal with that evasion, while on PA it's a lot harder for you to deal with that. Sure, you'll get BKB and stuff like that, but yeah, I think I'm liking NIGMA just because they have like the 1-up on the team fight.
Yeah.
Because they have the 3, the Tidehunters are kind of the only team that's the Puck on the side of HELLBEAR Smashers, so I think I still do go with that.
Well, let's see how this first game is going to play itself out and how Team NIGMA will fare without Miracle. We're heading over to our commentary trio of Cap and Kyle.
You know, going into this series, I was looking at it and I was like, okay, HELLBEAR Smashers, they might do their thing and get an upset in one game, but ultimately they're going to get 2-1. But not the case anymore. I mean, this is a pretty different NIGMA when you're missing Miracle and you've got a stand-in of RMN.
Yeah, nothing against RMN. Hi, MMR players, been coaching the squad for a long time, but, you know, not just anybody can replace Miracle. And he's not a mid player either.
Yeah, see, he is directly trying to replace Miracle right here. So I'm not sure if they're going to keep this dynamic. It's always kind of interesting. Do you put Mind Control in an awkward position here, which is certainly in an awkward position with against HELLBEAR Smashers? They go for the early 5-man movement out the Brambles, trying to create some cover, but Gilger does get the toss back. They quickly surround Mind Control, and that'll be it. Ace gets the first blood.
Love that from HELLBEAR Smashers. Yeah, they're 0-4, but they've been competitive. They took a game off of OG. They took a game off of Secret. They are no slouches, and this win keeps them in contention to stay in this upper division. I like that you come out, get the first blood, get some confidence.
Oh, absolutely. HELLBEAR Smashers, they've got everything to be able to win, and this is the best opportunity for you to be able to take it too. So, feels like that combination of things, it almost feels like HELLBEAR Smashers might end up being the favored team in this, as Smashers do manage to get not only that first blood, but also 3 bounty runes. So, nice big gold lead for them already.
And I gotta say, I mean, their draft is pretty solid. There's a reason the panel was favoring them. The Troll ult with AA ult does work a bit weird. You know, Troll can still be ulted by Axe and killed through his ultimate, but he doesn't shatter. However, you don't regen with any lifesteal when you pop Battle Trance, so be curious to see how that plays out. But if you look at the team fight, you know, HELLBEAR Smashers, just with the Tide and the AA, like that's so much damage.
That's your experience-based damage you were talking about earlier, right? They've got a lineup that just naturally scales with levels: Tiny, Tide, Ancient Apparition. They've got one hero that really needs a whole lot of farm, and that's going to be Ace. And it does feel like that is the 4 Protect 1 archetype fits pretty nicely into this meta because you want to be aggressive, so you kind of need 4 people running around trying to start fights.
Yeah, we haven't really seen many drafts work out where it feels like there's 3 cores that just need farm, and fortunately for NIGMA here, it does seem a bit complex. Like, it's a troll, yeah, you'll have some sustain behind you, but Batrider Mars, they're control. They're not really offering too much damage. You know, we've seen Liquid popularize this combination that we see right here with WEU and Mars. The fear into the arena can be huge, but you know, ineffective against Puck. PA could leap out of it and will buy BKB.
Yeah, they've got a very scary team fight on the NIGMA side. Boggs was talking about how Warlock Batrider was one of his favorite duos in the past. You know, people plus Sticky Napalm. GH going to be jumped on here. Spear through multiple brambles. Tofu's going to take a lot of damage. They made level 2, so Shadow Realm plus the healing salve gets the hit onto Tofu, and GH should be able to secure first blood from Mind Control and should be able to still get out. If Ace really wants this, it's going to cost him a lot as he gets speared up. The bramble doesn't quite latch, sadly, as Ace very easily, I think, could have maybe gone down there. The bramble had gotten in, but
that's really nice creep control there. NIGMA had a huge creep wave advantage, so they get levels early. Their enemy wave was dying faster. If Tofu's level 2 there, that's at least a turnaround kill, but did not have the XP. Timely level up from GH.
Hey, look at this. RMN doing a great job in CS. He's slightly above. Now Stormstormer still has 3 creeps coming in, but the fact that they're looking pretty even is really nice for RMN. And of course, this matchup in the past has been very good for Batrider. Batrider, of course, being nerfed a lot in the last patch, and that's why he kind of disappeared for a bit.
But he has to start with the Quelling Blade. You just don't get enough damage off the Napalm stacks to last it effectively. Puck with a 10 base damage advantage.
Gilger feeling like he can't do anything or isn't needed in the bottom lane. Is going to go for an early rotation here onto Mind Control and help out this lane. He's going to take the spear, but Mind Control's certainly dead.
I like this move. Tide, you know, he might suffer down here, but already level 3 with the 2 points in Kraken Shell. So just the pure defensive style. He just wants to ensure he doesn't get zoned, is able to get as much XP as possible. And you can see that if the wave is controlled by Ace, AA Tiny is a kill combo. Like, Mars can't do anything about that.
GH, is he gonna die here? They still have Avalanche, so I don't think there's a way out. He's got no more healing salves. He wakes up the neutrals. Tofu trying to aggro it, but Gilger times his last hit nicely and is going to be moving over to try and secure the runes here. Taken away from RMN. Here goes that water rune. So nicely done, RMN. Not having a real refill on the bottle may actually make a huge difference here.
Yeah, that's huge. Because RMN, oh no. Speaking of bottle refills, yeah. It's nice though, because the way you play bad mid, you kind of have to be out of mana almost at all times. You're shoving waves constantly, napalm spam, firefly for the rune spawn. So really well done there by Gilger, but you know, GH had died. Tactical feed, because it's actually worth in a way for Bet because he gets the free charge. That's something I really hope we see changed at a point. The fact that the fountain regen lasts long enough to both fill bottle and give that extra charge.
Yeah.
2 extra charges.
Yeah, the 4.5 sort of hit that you get out of this is pretty insane for sure. No doubt that bottle in some way needs to be nerfed.
Because I think the refill, that should stay. But the 4.5 charges, maybe a bit excessive.
GH. He does get out the Curse Crown, and he's got Mind Control running interference for him. Ace is still going to go for it. Immediately going to be speared. Brambles is here, but GH is going to take too much damage too quickly. He dies again.
Now, there is a price they pay for this. HELLBEAR Smashers are leaving their Tidehunter on an island. He's getting some pretty solid XP, already level 4.5, but you know, not really much in the CS department. I think it's a worthy trade though, because your PA, you know, that's your one position. It's your hard carry, and
It all is worth it, maybe, if they can get this kill onto RMN. He knew the Tiny was coming in thanks to a ward, but it looks like he underestimates the damage the puck is able to put out.
A double TP for that too. This is the danger. The opening picks of NIGMA were this support duo, but not really the easiest active roamers, right? Tiny just shows up, stun, toss, no problem. Willow, Warlock, like you need ultimates to do anything really.
Going for the power rune here, doesn't even spawn. Stormer is taking a lot of damage from Kuro. Another round of spells, GH. Gonna throw that lash down a realm, hits, and Tofu barely survives thanks to the stick charges he had leveled up. Now they managed to get the lasso here onto the Tiny, pull him back down into the river, so there's nowhere really where he can run to. And hey, look at that, a regen rune for your efforts as well, RMN. It's right back up to full plus. Stormer looks like he was grabbing the bounty rune, doesn't quite time his phase shifts correctly, and does take a bit of damage. In fact, the Bramble's landing, and that last hit, that's going to be enough. He's going to burn out, whether it's the healing ward or it's to fatal bonds.
That was a really weird play from Stormer. They're just overconfident. The Warlock threat is real. Back in the day when I used to play this mid, this was like the hard counter to puck, because you just can't juke the damage. And the fatal bonds and the shadow word are deceptively high damage against a hero with such low base HP, and Stormer just doesn't respect the level 4 Warlock.
Rasmus, he really wants out of this. Maybe could have ravaged right away, but of course he will hold on to it, knowing that the ravage is more important than his life. Meanwhile, top lane, they're going to go for the kill onto mind control again. Here, the cold feet barely manages to get him there, but he is level 6 and it's close to the tower, so they can't really play into him any longer.
Yeah, I like the build a lot by mind control. Early bracer, chainmail ASAP with a raindrop and a full wand to boot. So 1200 HP, but even more so because that raindrop is going to proc twice.
Look at this double ward placement from NIGMA to make sure they know exactly where the Tiny is going at all times. Because he has to be successful in his rotations top and mid constantly if they're going to be leaving the Tidehunter to dry out here in bottom lane.
I wouldn't mind. See, the trouble with Tiny is that if it's a different, this is like the Mirana 4 position, right? You'd be doing more of like what GH is doing, stacking camps to help get his Tide back into the game. They have 0 ancient stacks, and oof, nice deny from Kuro.
It is going to cost Kuro his life as they're going to get the coil toss combination, but he is rather tanky thanks to the levels that he's been getting. And it's going to take a long time for Stormer to actually get this kill. In many ways, this space is actually going to be well worth it for NIGMA. As the orb barely landing, but he's got another round of this. Boy, this is really costing them a lot of space. But at the same time, it looks like they may actually kill RMN. He barely managed to get the lasso to pull him back in. Ace throws out the dagger, trying to finish him off, but he's still not dead. He has to jump into tower range to be able to get him. A crit will finish him off. Tofu now running out, does have the cold feet to ensure that GH does not feel comfortable diving that tower. So, the space is in some way taken away by the fact that RMN dies to Ace. Why is Ace mid anyway?
Just nice rotate. You can't stay top alone against the Mars. It's very scary. He is level 7 with Arena active, and it's just time to ditch that area of the map. ILTW also showed up mid trying to get a little active. Well done by Kuro there. Again, NIGMA really good about this. They're always buying raindrops against puck. It's so value in this game. You saw 2 orbs just having the full damage negated. Not full from the spell, but the maximum block. One of the most value items in Dota 2.
I think a lot of the top tier teams have been doing these swaps lately. It's the mid laner swapping to a side lane. Because he's strong, he can be in a more dangerous lane and have an impact. And then you give your carry the mid lane, which is hard to be able to gank. As you can see here, RMN, he's level 8. He's hard to bring down. They try, but immediately he survives. Now they're going to get a turnaround here as Mind Control Kuro joining the party. Rasmus threatening that Ravaged, as he does have 17 stick charges as well.
Third play, you as a support, you sacrifice your early game to get your core online, and then they return the favor once you hit this 10-minute mark. And it's much easier also to play around a hero like Tide. You can see the itemization. Hood, right away, the full wand, so you just can't really kill Rasmus unless you want to commit. probably 4 or 5 heroes, and if he has backup, that Ravage is a huge threat. Would probably look to go there if the AA ult was going to connect, but no reason to blow the cooldown if you can't get at least 1 kill on a core.
Armen comes back to mid with the siege wagon push on its way.
It is a concern though. The 2 cores, Troll, yes, for sure. This hero will scale hard, but Batrider and Mars just, especially the way that they're itemizing, they're not real damage threats. You know, a Batrider mid kind of has to have a better start. You know, when we see this hero dominate, the bots are already up. He's on his way to a BKB at 15, 17 minutes into the game. And he gets a kill every time Lashes on cooldown. It's not really looking like that's going to be a possibility here for Armen.
Another Ice Blast sailing on by. I will say, I agree with you, especially since they've got heroes that deal. They've got 2 mobile cores, and that it's hard for Batrider to be able to kite out, and then the Tidehunter, who thanks to Kraken Shell gets rid of the sticky napalm. But I am impressed by these Batriders going late game with the new shard.
Yeah, that's true.
That is pretty crazy. It certainly seems like Batrider has a fresh power spike late game.
Yep.
That he didn't have before.
It's something he said about the way Dota's evolved, all the changes and additions. Hang on, I might have poked the runes.
Gilgert dodges the bramble. Very nice. They're going to try and bump him back into range of the lasso, but Gilgert covers himself with the avalanche.
So there's like a lot of legacy information in my brain that may just be outdated, specifically this relationship between Bat and Tide. Because back in the day, you know, you scrim against LGD, Vici, when RTK and Xiaowei were still in the game, they would first 2 a Tide into your Bat, no problem. They saw it as a hard counter.
Yeah.
I think that's still the case, but to your point, maybe Bat later on, you just have so much damage amplified from your shard. Tides isn't quite as good, although I have seen it used by Monkey's Row, because it does reduce tower damage on the Tide shard. It's really cool. But it's viable, I don't know.
Coil only onto the 1 here. ILTW. He's going to still be hit by the Ravage Ice Blast combination. Maybe this isn't quite what he expected. Now the avalanche up the top. He gets tossed. That's going to be him shattering. A terrorized dodge there by Stormstormer. The rest of NIGMA are going to close in on Gilgert, but he's hero chat and lining for a reason. He knows that was a great fight and a great exchange.
Yeah, take those all day. Nice, right? I mean, you kill the troll. That's it. Ace lives, troll dies. That's the dream. LTW is off to a great start. Don't get me wrong. He's very close to the battlefield, but that death will hurt. Skip the ultimate, I think partially just because he recognizes how useless it is against AAL. Not sure he'll be able to farm that a little bit faster. Don't think it would have helped him there.
Comes Armen back in with the
is about to take
to travel. The Ravage is down, so NIGMA, how much can they get during this opening? And it seems like they really actually want to just straight up take mid-tower. No coil for a bit either. It's still going to be difficult. And rather dangerous once they start taking more and more damage from the tower.
I love this from HELLBEAR. They just bring the whole squad. You want to push this lane? You're going to have to dive. Yeah, you don't have Ravage, but Rasmus is, you know, serving as an offensive lineman for his stack. You can't really go on Tide. This is the Dota mistake 101. Rasmus wants you to try to kill him. He's a no Ravage Tidehunter with a hood. If you do that, you're not winning the fight. He's surfing the purpose of a Ravage by just existing and absorbing your damage.
And it also helps that HELLBEAR Smashers have a decent number of low cooldown nukes they can just kind of throw out to defend towers, like the Puck especially, who's now found the opening with the coil just now coming up on GH. Now let's see if he dodged the spear in time. Phase shift not going to be out. He gets speared. He gets stuck to the wall. Still not dead. Will manage to get off an orb. Jumps a little farther away, but the last hit from RMN is here. So he keeps on pursuit. He sees Gilgert. Burrow's Golem leading the way. He'll try and slow him down. Gilgert does have Avalanche, which he can slow down RMN, but RMN may feel bold enough to keep it going. Man, he's so slow. Cold feet not quite there. Now he's going to toss him over to Ace. And Ace is actually going to be the one last. So if they're pulled together on this Firefly, Ace is still alive, but the TP actually getting canceled there by the spear. And Arden then gets the double kill, all thanks to Gilgert's alley-oop. He goes ahead and thanks Gilgert for for that one. NIGMA do close in with GH line control to ensure this team fight. Oh, they're going to go for the Ravage, but it's just the two of them. They really want this kill into RMN. The spear goes out. They only get the one kill out of this one, but it is a killing spree collected.
That is huge, though. ILTW put in so much work. His squad just pretty much won a team fight without him. He killed top tower, farmed a couple, I think 4 or 5 creep waves top, through the jungle, now to mid, no Ravage, so you're probably going to be able to push this mid tier 1 as well. And Ace dies. This is a huge lead now. LTW is taking on the game. He's a full Claymore ahead of the PA. Has the Battle Fury complete.
Tofu caught out here. Trying to get a little vision. Fortunately, Ace does actually clean up the kill on GH rather quickly. They got the tower. NIGMA, they should be plenty happy with this. And indeed, they'll back up. So just the net worth exchange there, fantastic for NIGMA. But now you add in the fact that they've got this really nice map control. They took the enemy mid tower while still keeping their own. Cooldowns are still up for a little while on the Ravage and such. These are all fantastic things. You can see ILTW. His tip to RMN, he is very happy with the space he's gotten. He's 2,000 net worth ahead of Ace.
He's a Yasha plus ahead. Like, he still doesn't have a Battle Fury up on Ace. So every minute that we see this disparity, that's an extra 200, 300 GPM the troll has as an advantage. That'll be reflected in the XP gained as well. And the map control now, because they've got mid tower, look at the ward coverage that Kuro's placed. It's beautiful.
Yeah, he's got all three lanes in a way covered right now. Both jungles in the mid lane covered in wards. Nice aggressive wards that are going to be able to give you a good read of what Hellbears are up to. As long as you don't like lose a big team fight and the enemy starts pushing onto your side, but getting a pick off like this certainly helps his Ace. He's got to jump away here over to Tofu, and that'll just enough space to get him out, and they actually lose GH in the process. So not bad for the Smashers.
Really, that's a very needed survive.
Oh, Stormer missing the coil there. That could have been a nice exchange. They actually dropped the golem to make sure that Smashers don't really try and take this too aggressively. And they will start retreating.
Averaging 5.
It's a 4 position for a 4 position so far, so with the Ravage ready to go, if RMN extends a little bit too deep, look at him, just the upheaval. Oh god, is Tofu gonna die to the golem like this? The spear comes out, the golem needs another hit, but he doesn't quite get it. RMN, is he gonna try and go for a flame break? He is, and he's got him too. Tofu gets burned down from a distance. They blow the Ravage to kill RMN for that though.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, LTW was already in the pit. Now he looks to commit. Like, this is just go for Roche, of course. Like, this is the second or second time the Rasmus Ravage just, it's too selfish almost. Like, that one kill isn't really worth it because you're losing objectives. You can only do this as LTW. You have so much map control, but again, the vision. Like, there's no fear now. You see your enemies, and he is solo killing Roche as we speak. He's going to be a full Sanjin Yasha ahead of the PA with an Aegis in his pocket.
Into the sunset.
And after it dies, quite possibly 3 full levels as well.
Gilger gets the spear on him with the brambles. And Mars Dark Willow. Those ultimates, man, combined together, they're probably just gonna 100-0 almost anybody in this game. LTW now with an Aegis and an S&Y, so he can play in team fights really aggressively now. Considering how tanky he is, he can now, in a way, frontline.
Yep.
For NIGMA.
He's done, the whole team's done well. I mean, ILTW, they'll probably get a lot of credit if he ends up carrying this game, but his team has put in so much work. RMN really surprising me on his plays as this battle rider, just because of how aggressive he's been able to posture. And look, the team is still looking to get active. There's still no Ravage, and they should know this. Solar Crest finished on Rasmus, but I just don't know if you actually have the damage to fight. As Smash control is a huge problem.
Certainly is, and NIGMA, if the Smashers don't choose to fight them, they can start mowing down some towers. That. tanky he is, he can now, in a way, frontline.
Yep.
For Nigma.
Mind the Troll versus PA relationship. Typically, PA is certainly the king of the late game, but Troll, you can even see in the items he's got queued up, BKB, MKB. Very natural progression for him. And it is incredibly difficult to go toe-to-toe with this hero as a Phantom Assassin unless you are at the very least equal in items. And that does not look like it'll be the case unless perhaps this smoke can work out. No blink on Rasmus, but he's going to attempt the walk-in Ravage. Blink on the puck. They need to try and get this Warlock.
They're going to lead off with the coil onto the two supports. With the Ice Blast coming in as well, they might just be able to burst the backline almost immediately. They do. Two supports down. Mind Control gets off the arena, though. And the puck is going to be a combo of ultimates that brings him down. RMN and Mind Control both down to about half health. Ace looking for his opportunity to jump in. Spots it now onto RMN. Meanwhile, the Time Hunter Rasmus being gone on by the Troll. Bit by bit, he will be whittled down by the Troll's damage. But now they're going to go for Mind Control as well. They're leading ILTW from last year, which is a great idea if they can actually finish off Mind Control's Mars. But they can't. He's too tanky, it seems like. And Ace doesn't want to try and go for that kill with ILTW in the neighborhood. So they're going to back off. Ultimately, a 3 for 3 is the exchange.
Man, that could have gone so much worse for NIGMA. I'm surprised they came out of that so nicely. Both supports died right at the onset. No spells cast by Kuro. They got the tier 2 though, so they'll be able to teleport right in, heal at Mind Control. That's the new outpost coming into play. This is that the 5 seconds versus 6 second TP. Maybe not super effective, but he got healed that much faster.
And now they can just keep playing on HELLBEAR Smashers then the map. And even start taking over their triangle. And once a PA loses her triangle, I just don't know how you recover the game.
Yeah.
You know, because you are so reliant on hitting Ancients.
I think Ace might have had to get a little more aggressive in that fight. He didn't actually enter it until it was 3-on-3.
Sorry, I was laughing at Rasmus's inventory. He knows what he needs. And it's one item and one item alone. A blink dagger for him. It's like Tofu. He's very dead. His Gilger, yeah, and Gilger's gonna be caught out as well. Both the supports getting picked just outside of their base. There's nowhere for them to move. Nigma, they're just kind of a wall.
He just baited, but there was a ward on the high ground by top outpost in Dire Jungle. That was also sentryed by Kuro as he came in. HELLBEAR Smashers had placed a new ward and immediately got taken out, but it's why NIGMA continued to dominate in this area of the map. There's just been no vision for HELLBEAR Smashers. They have one ward now on the steps of the enemy woods, but this doesn't help them because Kuro and squad are not playing underneath it at all. They're just stealing the jungle and in this manner controlling both ancient spawns. So to your point, where does PA farm?
Yeah. Throw in the combination of Mars having a blink dagger and RMN having his boots of travel. And if you play on the side lanes and you play really deep on the enemy side of the map to try and find farm, Nigma could certainly close the distance real quickly. And Phase Shift is going to be able to dodge the spear, Mind Control. He's looking a bit unhealthy here at about half health. Not obviously going to commit. 3 more seconds till the Aegis expires. So Smashers really want to stall this out. But can they go on ILTW here? A BKB for both the carries.
They just saw Aces picked up, so they might need to be a little cautious here. This spacing, though, really benefits NIGMA. They're playing in the trees with their squishier heroes. You can't really get Kuro if he's going to play this far back.
Stormer looking for an opening here. Spots GH, and he wants him to go for it, and they do. Gilger jumps him, hits him with a combo. Puck follows it up. Puck trying to protect his own life as best as possible. Gets a coil on just the back right. But immediately broken. The Ice Blast is going to follow it in. They need more damage behind it, though. They don't quite yet have it. RMN doing a nice job dodging around. Ace, the golem is thrown onto him. He's going to jump away back to Rasmus and Stormer. While the rest of Nigma funnel backwards here. They're going to start poking on Mind Control. Gilger is being focused down by ILTW at the same time. But now that they're done with the Tiny, they're going to start rallying back. A 3-on-3 still. These teams very evenly matched when it comes to team fights. Both of them have a strong understanding of picking off these squishier 4-position heroes. GH got to be a little bit careful since he did buy back in this fight. So I guess 2 for 3.
You can see the big difference between these carries. Ace forced to play like an assassin, whereas LTW just playing like a bully. he's not targetable. Wasn't even forced to use BKB there because they simply cannot go for him right now. He's just stealing the enemy bounty room, just ignoring the fact that HELLBEAR Smashers are 5 alive. Really nice placement. He's just going to continue to apply this pressure.
And he's going to be able to naturally progress into an MKB, so the PA feels like you are answered for the next, like, 10 minutes.
Yep.
Probably, maybe if we survive for another 15, then the PA starts becoming big enough threat some of these other heroes. But RMN, he jumps in big time to be able to go for the Ancient Apparition, but he immediately gets turned around on by the Smashers. NIGMA are going to use that BKB on ILTW to TP home, and Kuro looks like he's far enough back.
Kuro has a refresher in 500 gold.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit more, though, as Smashers are still trying to catch up to. Oh, my God. 1,000 damage crit from Ace, and they're on the hunt for more here. The spear doesn't quite land. GH spotted for a moment. Gilger, Blink Dagger up, another avalanche. A toss coming in soon. Shadowrun just came back up, so he's not going to be tossed here.
It's huge. He had no buyback. That would have been guaranteed tier 2. Still might be, but you can see the downside. Kuro went for this very greedy item build. When he gets the refresher, that's going to be nuts. But for now, the side of NIGMA have literally no plus armor items. So that Solar Crest advantage is going to come into play. The Gush as well for the minus armor. If you get caught as Warlock or the Willow of GH by Ace, you die in a crit.
He is in a really bad position. Oh my God, ILTW. What is this?
It's WB.
The most insane farming I have. What?
We get a replay. Where was he?
So
he just walked up to the Ancients?
BKB TP'd, and I think he TP'd the tier 2 bottom, and he farmed his way up into their triangle.
And they had a ward on him too.
Yeah, I mean,
The only place on the map Kuro doesn't have sentries is the Ancient Camp that ILTW chooses to farm. That is a huge death. His advantage has just dropped off. You know, he's been an item ahead this entire game. Now it's going to be half an item. And Ace, you know, he's got the Deso complete, so, you know, actually they're even. It's just that right now he's got a lead on the MKB. That timing is going to be huge for NIGMA. They'd like it to hit before the next Roach fight. But that's going to be easier said than done. They just lost map control. Suddenly it's HELLBEAR Smashers playing enemy side of the map.
crazy, just wrong positioning from two people on the side of NIGMA, and it makes a huge difference. I think RMN and his choice to, I think he jumped in and lassoed Tofu, right? But like as soon as he does that, PA has free game, right? And part of the success of teamfights of NIGMA has been the troll being on the front line. They're going to be able to grab Gilger here. They're trying to blow him up. He's not quite inside the wall, but he should still die here. But at the same time, Stormstormer's in deep. Uh-oh, he ran into a bramble. Almost gets hit by the golem, but fortunately he phase shifts it, jumps over to his orb, but he's still caught. NIGMA. What? This time it's HELLBEAR Smashers who get like way too aggressive, and NIGMA finds a great opening into Roche.
What the hell? How did that happen, Cap? It's a 4-on-5. There's no troll. The enemy network, the highest network by far, is dead. Roche has now spawned. You have Ravage. Do we have buybacks on these heroes? Stormstormer, yes. Gilger, no. Are you just going to give up the Roche?
Yeah, I mean, HELLBEAR Smashers just were not ready for a fight. I think Icebox is going to come in, but the PA is a little bit too far away. In fact, he's been hit by a Brambles here. He may be forced to use his first BKB to try and TP out. There is no lasso for a second here for the Batride, but it may not be needed. They managed to get the chase done onto it. The Ravage are going to go down. BKB and a blink strike away, but that's not the way you wanted to use your combination there. Just to retreat to save your carry, but still lose your Tidehunter in the process. NIGMA, all right, the game's fully swung back to their favor.
What? That's just nuts. They just gave away. They were gonna have such an insane timing. PA just hit level 20. He has the Deso for 7 minus armor, his talent for 3. They would have no armor items. Kuro 7, Willow of GH 5, 15 on the Batrider. These heroes are going to explode in the duration of a Ravage, but now they don't have it. Now they're playing into Aegis.
663 gold for D-warding. Nicely done by Kuro.
They just
Had
gave up.
great read.
What were they doing over there?
Structures are
I
fortified.
don't know. There's just a lot of weird mispositionings happening. I think both teams are underestimating the potential of the other team to be aggressive above them. And now Ace doesn't have a BKB for 15 seconds. They need the puck, blink strike, to be able to jump over. And Stormer does give it to him. Ace, he's running himself out of here, but Stormer is going to get caught in the process. And Mind Control may get burned out, but Ace, RMN spots him. He's going to be hit by another blink. But he just gave up.
Oh, he had it. He had it.
I think he gave up in like literally the last second.
Alright, man.
Was not spamming it.
Is that Miracle or is this RMN? Because all of a sudden the Batrider has. It's just winning the game for his boys.
You know what's funny is that like there's so many like okay, that fight in triangle where HELLBEAR Smashers is not well prepared. They get caught. That leads into Roshan being taken. That Roshan is a shard. So Batrider picks up the shard.
Yep.
That's how he ends up killing the PA again.
Yep.
It's like these things get snowballed rather heavily.
So he now doesn't have to buy a shard. He can instead buy a BKB cap. Suddenly the Ravage is ineffective, and he's going to be gunning. That's 2 racks. Like, I actually, is that just GG?
It's close enough to it. They're going to hold out because they've got a PA, right? They've got a PA. They've got tier 1 and tier 2 still up in the bottom lane.
But their whole timing just disappeared. Suddenly everybody on the Radiant team now has a bonus 2,000 gold. That's a plate mail on the Mars. It's going to be an Aeon disc soon on GH. It was 24-20. HELLBEAR Smashers had a lead,
Radiant's top tower
and
is
then,
under attack.
man, just, I don't know. I guess by now I should have learned to buy the dip, but I cannot believe that they turned this around.
Yeah. Fistful of sand. It all just slips through their fingers, and HELLBEAR Smashers, who had an opportunity to take control of this game,
Plate mail on the bat.
now they're dealing with the BKB plate mail Batrider,
Yeah,
who has a shard.
PA no longer has that insta-kill potential because Team NIGMA just picked up like a bonus 30 or 40 armor across their players. Now they have a Refresher Golem and an Aegis and a DD.
Still have an opportunity for outplay RMN in deep here. Tried to go for the lasso, but the Lincolns protected him, I believe, on the puck. So, did he not know about that?
It was new, just picked up. It's the right choice too, mostly for the defensive application on PA, because otherwise, right, there's no protecting him. He can BKB, but still get lassoed and he'll be done for him.
It's a pretty sick move. If he didn't have that Lincolns, they would have just found a
Dire's bottom tower.
insanely good pickoff to end the game. Still looking very good for NIGMA as they 1 minute left on the Aegis and should be able to run up to high ground and force something. HELLBEAR Smashers, they might be able to stall until the Aegis is down, but it's probably going to cost them a lot. Maybe buybacks, maybe Ravage.
Do have Glyph, but look for Crow just to drop the bomb. He's got 2 of them.
Yeah. Oh, and double damage too? Yeah, they could definitely force a response from Smashers now before this Aegis is gone. Now, okay, they're not going to wait. The Lotus Orb going off actually does manage to get the lasso back, turned around, but it doesn't matter. Gilgar is being ripped apart by LTW. They do have a buyback though. RMN almost getting critted down to death. He's got to be careful of that MKB. Double damaged up by LTW. He's running down heroes right now. That is going to be the use of his ultimate. He's got 14 seconds left on the Aegis. They really need to take this Megas now because he won't have those extra lives soon. ILTW toss back and they do take him out before the Aegis expires. Now the Golems double dropped in. Aegis is going to be able to dodge one of them. Instantly Ravage up. Can they burst him down? He doesn't have his ultimate. He eats the chains, but he still is getting chunked on by Ace. Now Smashers, they haven't even lost their barracks just yet, are going to look for more. Everybody else, maybe they can catch the Dark Willow here, but other than that, great fight for Smashers. They will hold.
Oh man, so they kill him a second before Aegis respawns, but sick play. The BKB was down, so Gilgar with the immediate toss back forces LTW to be out of position. He had no ult either, and used it purely offensively.
Yeah, he just used it
He's just like, I'm in, but Crow didn't drop the rocks. Then he does onto the puck. Both of them, both are dodged.
Like, why did they need to initiate?
You can just chill.
Just
you
let
kill
them go on
Tiny.
LTW.
It's all good. Like, use the arena, maybe, if you want to, but it's all fine here. Okay, everything's good. You don't need to do this if you're ILTW. You can just hit the Rex. You have a DD. Instead, he's now forced into the tier 4s. You're going to see a toss back in just a moment from Gilger. They loaded
Beautiful toss back by Gilger that saves the barracks and puts the troll in a very bad position.
Yeah, they get the crit. But now watch Crow.
Golem 1, Golem 2, what?
And then there's just a like, if you're going to use that, that should be, you know, I don't know, you ever play StarCraft 2, you know, when you're launching nukes, like, you want to put it closer to the enemy base full of workers. You don't want to aim for the army. Or in this case, I guess the lone Dragoon. Not ideal. And I don't know if this is going to turn it around necessarily, but at least Smashers have some breathing room. They're going to have a Satanic soon on their PA. Don't know if I like that choice, actually. He might need damage, but I guess they're considering that if our PA can actually, like, live and just go toe-to-toe with LTW.
Gilger breaks the smoke and blinks away. Very nice by him. Smashers may still be caught in the process. Dagger doing a lot of damage here. We're going to poke at mind control some more. Uh-oh, Brambles actually caught him and terrorized as well. Stormstormer is just dead.
Not buyback.
Now they've got the Ghoul Scepter. He does have a BKB. He's going to jump back first, holding on to that magic immunity for as long as possible. Now using it, but not being able to go in. They buy back on Stormstormer, but the BKB will be on cooldown for 70 seconds. NIGMA have an opportunity to just hit the base again.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee this is the last time we're going to see Rasmus playing Tide in this series. Not that he's doing anything wrong, but he had no Ravage there for 20 seconds. They might have an opening to fight to use that buyback, but without Ravage, they just don't feel comfortable. However, this is a sick backstep. They've got great vision.
It's over to 14 to 2 backline to get them together in a combination, but the Aeon Disc protects GH. He was aware that this could be a possibility. He saves himself. Mind control's going to be rooted to this spot, but it's ILTW who's already smashed in Ace's head. He rips them apart with that MKB, and as soon as Ace is gone, the fight's done. They don't have any damage. This is a 4 protects 1 lineup. There's nothing left. So that's it. NIGMA.
Don't even get the Ravage. Oh my. Oh, Cap. I was like, they're going to go. They've got vision. This is such a sick opportunity to just.
Oh, no.
Like, you got to, at one point, your gun, you're still loaded. Just blink in and pray, right? Use everything. Instead, we see the game end. Foil. I don't even know if it might have been used, wasn't effective. Ravage unused, and shout out to RMN, newest mid player for Team NIGMA.